All right, are we live? I think we're live. YouTube says I'm live. They usually have a delay on this, which means it's probably not going to actually start for a few seconds. I got coffee. All right, are we up? I think we got to be up soon. Oh, apparently a concurrent viewer ran away. Someone already ran away from me? Hey, oh, we got Dennis. All right. So I'm excited, people, for a couple reasons. One, I got a couple ideas for upcoming streams I'm pretty excited about. So they should be kind of fun and amusing. I did put a post out in Discord asking people what they want to see me play, what they want to see on stream, etc. So feel free to go into the Discord and comment if there's certain games or mainly, yeah, if there's certain games or even if there's things you want me to do on a stream for fun. Let me know. I do have VR, so feel free to mention VR games too. One of the other reasons I'm excited is I finally replaced my mouse. I bought a new 703, so I have a functioning scroll wheel. That should help, especially in games like Star Citizen, where I want to control my throttle and it's tied to scroll wheel. So I'm super excited that I actually have my scroll wheel back. So yeah, I replaced my 703 with another 703. This does mean I get to have fun trying to refigure out sensitivity, because I forgot to check my sensitivity before I changed it, but I think I've got it about right. Let's see. So much fun when it didn't work. There was amusing moments when it didn't work, especially when it would scroll me down to like 1 as my max velocity. So I'm just sitting here, in essence, sitting still, hovering above a city, because it's like my max velocity is 1. Which game did it affect the most though? I'm trying to think. It was pretty bad in Star Citizen, but at the same time I could just not change velocity. What was the other game that it was such a problem in? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, New World. Because to change target for heals, you have to scroll wheel. So yeah, New World was the other one. It made healing in New World a pain. You're still hyped for Raftron Force. So I watched the thing, but I also didn't watch the thing. Like, if you know what I mean, like I saw the whole Raftron. Is this gonna be something other than just like a joke that they made? So it's like, I don't, as far as I thought, it was just a little joke video. Are they doing more about this? I'm actually kind of waiting for my C2 right now. Just a joke, that's what I thought. All right. So Dennis, I don't know if you want to help with testing, but I want to kind of test out the Spartan a bit. Thumper's Depot. I need to pick up a few guns. So I want to pick up couple NN14s. I think they have them here. Yes. 5, 2, firm.
Good purchase.
All right. I need more funds. I shouldn't, because I mainly just wanted to get NN14s. Because I did testing a good while back. When me and Sandbon were going to participate actually in one of the races in game. Problem was, like, us and one other team showed up, so it didn't happen. Kind of was a bummer. But back with that one, it was going to be one of the Ursa races where everyone was in Ursa Rovers and you were allowed to fight. We did a bunch of testing on what the best weapons to put on the Ursa was for your turret. And what we found was that the NN14 or NN13, because those are size 1s, by far was better than any other weapon. It annihilated Ursa Rovers. It was insane how it was just so much better than anything else. The next closest was the default ballistics. I probably have that chart still somewhere, but if I remember right, it took the, what are they, Scorpions for size 1? I forget, but the ballistics, it took them like 22 seconds to blow up an Ursa Rover, I think, something like that. The NN13s did it in like 8 seconds. It was so much faster. Because neutron cannons are just, they're beautiful. Before or after weapon rework. This was before, so that's why I'm going to do 14s versus the default ballistics, the Scorpions that are on it, and see once again, because I'm trying to remember, I don't think any other weapon was close to either of those. And even now, I guess the only option would be like mass drivers. You could try, I mean, I could pick up a couple mass drivers and try mass drivers. Those could be decent as well for size 2s. Yeah, let's pick up a couple mass drivers. Because in a size 2, I don't know what else would even be worth testing. Other than like ballistics, neutrons, and like mass drivers. Distortion just isn't worth it. Oh, that was funny. When we did our testing, I don't know if I recorded it. If I did, it's long gone. We need to start our testing. Oh, it glitched. And we were trying to find out if this was a real glitch or not, but it glitched. And for some reason, Sandbon was in the Ursa I was attacking. We were using, I think it was distortion repeaters we were testing. And it caused him to float in the air. Like for some reason, when I shot him with the distortion repeaters, the Ursa started like floating up into the air, and it was sitting there like bouncing in the air as I was shooting it. It was hilarious. We're like, if this is a full-time glitch, that'd be so broken. Luckily, it was something to do with that iteration. When we tested it again, it didn't work. But it was great. I was like, oh, if this is like an actual, like repeatable glitch, that would be so broken in a race. The only other thing I could come up with is like a scattergun, but you'd have to be super close to them. And I don't think you'd want to be that close. I mean, you could try something like an M4A, but they're not really known for damage. And something like an attrition, you have to maintain fire for it to do a lot of damage, which means it's not going to be a quick kill. You have no vehicles? That's fine. I've got a Cyclone, PTV. I can spawn a second one, so we can do like Spartan v Spartan. The only thing I wish we had is an Ursa, which we could go buy an Ursa. Like, there is no reason that I can't just go buy an Ursa. We could spawn an arrow and shoot an arrow and see how quickly it could take out like a light fighter. Okay. So let's take my C2. Want to go to Lorville and buy? Sure, I can meet you at... Try the best place to spawn. EOO. I guess I could meet you at... Lathan? Might as well meet you at Lathan. So I can go to Lathan, start spawning vehicles. And then, if you want to go pick up an Ursa. Ursas are pretty cheap, aren't they? Like 70, 80,000? Like, they're not that bad. But then we could try, like, see how long it takes, like, an Ursa to take out a Spartan. Like, how good its armor is from that standpoint. Actually, the nice part is we could also spawn, because I think the arrow spawns on the small pad. If we could spawn the arrow on the small pad, we can also see how quickly can an arrow take out a Spartan. Like, if a Spartan's trying to shoot a small plane, like, how quickly can you take it out? It's like, that could be interesting. I'm curious, how good is its armor? So that could be fun. Man, I really need to replace this microphone arm. It does not clamp well to the desk. It's been serving me so well, though, for quite a while. Man, I don't know, Dennis, do you even remember when I got this mic arm? That was really towards the beginning of streaming. That must have been like a month or two in. Actually, did I have this when I started streaming? I'm trying to remember. I wonder if I still have any of those old videos. For you? That's what I'm trying to remember, because I had my Yeti. I had my Yeti, I think, before I started streaming. But I'm trying to remember if I had the mic arm right away, or if I was just using its normal stand. So now I'm wondering.
Landing gear. Thank you, and please visit again.
I know I've been looking at replacing it though, because with swinging it back and forth, the clamp is not very reliable. It wants to slide around. I wonder if nowadays I could bring the mic in from this side. I don't know. All right. Did I see the Polaris clip? I don't think I did. Was this on Reddit? So I don't think you've shared it. Did you? Let's see. Star Citizen chats. I'm guessing this was on Reddit. Play it. Oh, okay, there you are. Oh, you did, you sent it to me in DM, didn't you? That's right. I didn't take the time because I was busy. Give me a sec. I'm gonna start the jump to Hurston and then we'll play it. Is this from the live today? I haven't had time to watch. I was gonna watch it tonight. Yeah, I had to go buy the mouse before stream, so I didn't watch your clip yet. So yeah, we'll get this jump started and then I'll put it up. All right. Let's see. Da, da, da.
The Polaris had its full interior concept work done. Like we figured out the full layout. It's all there. It's all ready. We figured out the metrics for everything, what needs to go in. There's been some changes to the actual Polaris's loadout, but I'm not going to say more because once again, we're not ready to
Let
talk
us
right now.
know.
But there's been some updates to bring it up to scratch with everything else, similar to when the Merchantman had its revisit when we brought it up to the standards
I love his
now, but I don't
headband,
think
how it works with the
now's the time to actually
blur.
go into detail about it. But it's had some significant changes to bring it up to where it needs to be. I mean, as far as the concept goes, if I remember correctly, it's ready for development when we can find a slot, if I remember right.
Pretty much, yeah. I think one big-ish thing to talk about on it was the original concept for it. The hangar was sort of
The Polaris had its
It was
Wait.
sort of not.
What about the hangar?
the Polaris had its full
Sandbot and me were talking about this. What about the hangar? I want to know. What about the hangar? Did it get increased? Is it bigger? Smaller? Can't really be smaller. Is it bigger? I want to know. I need to figure this out. I'm gonna have to watch it to see, because we were talking about this with Sandbon, where with the Odyssey and its hangar, which by the way, they're not gonna watch this, but if you watch the CIG, could you update your product page for the Odyssey, because it is confusing. You look at it and it says small ship hangar. You look at the spec list and it says XS for the hangar size. Now, is that XS as an extra small? Is that XS as in extra small? Like extra smaller or extra bigger? Because extra smaller is wrong because it fits a Saber. So that means it's extra small as in bigger than what you would consider small. But you can't get that just from an XS. Like when I first saw XS, my brain says that is smaller than small. So kind of like the one in the Carrack. You can fit like a Pisces or like an Arrow folded up. But it's obviously bigger than a small because it fits a Saber. Please update that. Like, please. Make it more obvious. Yeah, so whatever. What we were talking about with the Polaris, like, since the Odyssey fits a bigger ship like a Saber, like the Polaris should almost be the same way, is what when we were talking about it seems like it should be. So that's why I'm curious with that, where he's talking about the hangar. Is that what they're talking about? Where was the initial idea for the hangar that it was smaller and now they want to make it bigger?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. That's the way it kind of should be. A ship like the Polaris especially should be able to fit what I consider a interceptor. It's like it's a fighter intended to intercept, and that should go up to like a Saber. That's almost medium-sized fighter range. Because a light fighter, though it can be a good interceptor, is not going to be a good solid defense. Stuff like light fighters, I feel like, are better on something like a Kraken, where you can send a bunch of them out, like 3-4 of them out at once to try to swarm opponents. If you could only have like one, it should be more in the medium fighter size. So cool. That'll make Sandbon happy. Man,
Do we need a ballista? Not really, do we? Or for comparison, you want one, or?
I mean, it's up to you. I don't think we need one. If you want to pick one up to compare it with, we can. It would be interesting to see. Well, I would imagine a ballista can one-shot the Spartan. Like, if you launch the big torp.
About the other way around.
Yeah. If you launch the big torp, I would imagine. Well, the ballista has no. Actually, does the ballista and the Spartan have the same defenses?
They should, more or less. I don't know.
I'm gonna try to look. Do they have the same shields? I would guess so. Ballista. Wait, does Urkel have data on? It has data on.
Yes, it has.
I always get their their website is so confusing. I need to save it. It's just it spells. It's such a weird spelling. To games? Did I have Urkel saved somewhere? It's like I always feel like it should have a U in it, and it doesn't. It's just ERKUL. Come on, Urkel, load. All right, ships and vehicles. Let's see. Ballista.
That's what you get for speaking a language where you sometimes pronounce all the letters and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you change them around.
There's so many exceptions in the pair
In the
English language. That's
mix of
that's why the
Old
English.
Celtic and German and French and Dutch and
That's why they say that English is the hardest language to learn. It's not that it's like phonetically difficult, or it's not that like it uses parts of the mouth or like the vocal cords that are not used in other languages, because some are difficult just because like the vocal cords and vocal folds have to do weird movements that aren't usual. It's like English is the hardest just because there's so many exceptions and so many variations on it that it's, if you're not from a language that's very similar, it's just, I mean, that's why Japanese is one of the hardest ones to learn. It's just nothing is similar to it. So it's just so difficult to learn. But English is like, let's take that and then create a whole whack ton of exceptions. It's like I before E, or what is it?
Don't ask me.
Oh, shoot. Except after C. I think it's I before E except after C is like one of the rules, except that's like a 60% of the time that's right type thing. Like most of the time that's true, but there's a whack ton of exceptions. All right. I was hoping to use Urkel to actually look up, like using their comparison tool, but it doesn't work. So I'll have to just straight up go into the calculator and look them up individually.
Yeah. Like you have different like tabs, 1, 2, 3, where you can load one on the one
shields.
and another one on the two, and then you just.
So the Ballista has 2 pin shields. And the Spartan is 2 Castra shields. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So 750. So they're the same right now. Like, you know, HP, regen, but I'm assuming that's, you know, going to make a difference once they update everything. Right now, the Castra and the pins are in essence the same. But yeah, so they both have 2 size 0 shields. So they should be pretty similar. I don't know. Do they have, yeah, hull HP. So 33,600 for the Spartan. And the Ballista's the same, 33,600. So they're identical currently.
Yeah.
They do technically have different shields though. So
which makes sense for them saying that it's the same platform they use for different purposes.
Yeah, but the part that makes me wonder is see, which one do I have right now? Right now I'm looking at the Ballista. So the Ballista is their civilian grade C. And the Castras are industrial grade C. So technically the Spartan probably is going to have better shields once they update them, because they're industrial versus civilian. But they haven't updated them yet, so and they could change.
Yeah, but a lot of people put a lot of weight on what a ship comes with. I really don't care about this.
It's platform.
But the size, because you can just change it around.
It's a platform thing. So yes, right now they both are 2 size 0s. You do have to look at it from an expense standpoint for ships that I would consider entry points. So I guess the best way to put it is, if you are a player who starts out with an Aurora, there is something to be said for like what light fighter you pick. Like you take your Aurora, you start earning money, and you're gonna go buy your first like light fighter. There is something to be said for what it comes with, because obviously early on you don't have a lot of money, and replacing shields, weapons is kind of expensive early on. So like a jumping point, it can be kind of a big deal, I'd say. But once you start talking medium fighter and up, like once you start talking a few $100,000 ships, or like $1 million ship and up, you're gonna have enough money at that point that like paying $15,000 per weapon to replace it on your ship is like a drop in the hat. So it's like, whatever. Like, platform matters at that point. It's platform, not starting. Because what? I'm trying to think, like an arrow, for example, is 900 something thousand, isn't it? Like 950. It's like just under 1 million. I'm trying to think, what are the cost of the other light fighters right now? I haven't looked at ship costs in ages. Is there still Excel spreadsheets that break all this down?
I'm sure they are.
I think the last time I had an updated Excel spreadsheet from someone that listed like all the weapon data, all the shield data, like cost to rent ships, cost to buy ships in game. I think the last one of those I had was from like 3.9. Like, because people used to dredge through the database and create these spreadsheets with like all this data in it. And then it seemed like they just became nearly impossible to find anymore. I think a large part of that was Urkel. Like, Urkel got better and better.
Yeah, but not only that, but like for a long time, stuff stayed where it was and just new stuff got added. And then all of a sudden they started removing and moving around and everything just got messy.
Well, a lot of that didn't matter too much though, because the one in particular I remember, because obviously some of them were like handmade, and yes, those guys probably stopped because of all the changes to weapons they made in like 3.11, 3.12. Like, they started doing ridiculous changes to shields, weapons, combat in general, so many balances that I'm sure the guys who were like hand making these just stopped. It was like, it's just too much. But the one I remember in particular was the database Excel sheet. Like, this was someone just, ran code to pull from the database in the game, like the game's back end, and then just had it, drop into an Excel. I would imagine that was highly automated, and you would only have to do that, per patch. So I would think that one still existed, but I don't know. It's possible that things were so similar once again that like all the shields now are practically the same. So maybe they just thought it was unnecessary. And like I said, I think Urkel became more popular and got better. So a lot of people used those databases mainly to find out, weapon damage, shield capacities, all that. And now you just punch it in Urkel. So I'm sure it was a combination of a whole bunch of things that led to the spreadsheets just not being as necessary and not being as common. Okay. Part of the question's going to be, how far away are we going to have to go to test all this? I'll have to see.
Well, we can just load up the C2 and jump anywhere.
That's probably not a bad idea. We don't even necessarily have to jump somewhere. We could just pick a direction and fly off in the distance and then go from there. We'll see. I'll just start loading it up. There's a big problem, I think, with Lathan is I don't think there's a direction you can go that like is convenient. Especially with, it seems like they made a bunch of the rocks bigger now too. So when I went to test, if you watched the rest of that last stream, when I went to test the Spartan, like the rocks made it,
Yeah.
felt like Austin Powers a lot of the time, just trying to fit around and turn around that thing. Ugh. It was not fun. Not fun at all. Actually, I'll just leave the ramp down. Whatever.
I did also get the Nova.
Oh, you did get Novatech? A Tonk?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about the Tonk.
These streams of yours are getting expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to get all these things, because I could go get some of these things too. I mean, at least I've been working to start earning money again.
Oh, by the way, I have the certification for extreme rewards.
Oh, you got the ERTs?
I have the mission for the certification,
Cool. So,
which, if I remember correctly, that's 2 Valkyries and a Hammerhead.
yeah, we should
Or is
see
that the next one?
if we can get someone to help. Like, I feel like running a Redeemer would be... make that stupid easy.
Or 2 Starfighters.
Yeah, a couple Ares. I wonder what Noble's playing. He's sitting inside their Discord. Huh. Alright. So Spartan, I need to pull. I could have swore. There we go. Tumbril Cyclone. Claim that. Some of the vehicles, like claim times, is probably almost too short. Quite frankly, they probably do need to increase them a little bit. Probably should claim the arrow too. I feel like at some point testing the arrow would be a good idea.
I feel like if you lose a land
Spartan.
vehicle, the amount of time to even get to a retrieval console makes up for it.
Oh, so you're saying like, well, yeah, I guess possibly. But I guess the other issue though is we don't know for sure yet because right now there's no good way to spawn a vehicle inside of a ship. Like, we don't have that ability to just spawn parasites. So I think you're probably right. We'll have to see in the future if that doesn't hold up once like parasite spawning is more of a thing and like having your own base and all that is. Because there's still so much we don't know about how things are going to play out. Especially when it comes to bases. Like, is your base going to be able to have a spawn point? Like, how close can you build to a spawn point? A base?
Well, isn't your base gonna be a spawn point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, is like, there's so much of this we still don't fully know.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be able to spawn anything at your base? Are you going to have to like create a spawn point based off of like what pad or whatever you can install?
Yeah. For me, they've kind of answered it with like you can store things at your base. So whatever you stored is what you can spawn.
But how do you set storage? Like, what I'm getting at is, you know, if you create a base, so say you drop a Pioneer, you make a base, can you make any, like any pad or whatever? Like, I'm assuming you have to build a hangar or build a, like, vehicle pad or whatever.
Yeah.
So then can you only store or spawn what fits on that pad? Or is it, you know, free?
I would assume that is how the game works.
Yeah. So then it's going to be, okay, well, you know, how's that going to restrict then your spawning capabilities, how quickly you can respawn vehicles after they get destroyed, etc., etc.
And I'm pretty sure that's like a delay when something gets destroyed, and like if you pick it up at a factory, it's quicker or something.
Yeah. That's stuff that we'll have to find out eventually, because that
would make the Liberator useful, because like people will say, hey, I need somebody to pick up my ship at this factory and bring it to my base.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be like having a Liberator and, yeah, being able to use it as a delivery service.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this as close to this side as I can. Oh, having a scroll wheel is nice. Alright. But yeah, that would be nice. Like, you're talking to someone in your company or whatever, and it's like, oh, hey, I need to go pick up a replacement, or just in
Not
general.
only that, you can put out an order for like, I need somebody to come and pick up that and bring it to me. So like you go to the factory, and because you have the order, you are allowed to get his ship.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine if I could do that with my Kraken whenever I get a Kraken? Like, you in essence, you're like the giant semi-trucks that deliver to, like, dealers and stuff.
Yeah, but because it's not your ship, you can't open it, you can't get into it. But they've already said that you use a tractor beam on the Liberator to load the vehicle, so you don't need somebody to sit in the ship.
You would have to have them... They'd have to figure out some way to grant permission, though, for you to tractor beam it. Because, to our knowledge at this point, tractor beaming always requires permission. Like, from the owner. So typically, like with the SRV, that would be... they're sitting in the ship. You roll up, you say, like, hey, I want to tractor beam you to tow you. Then them in their ship have to say, yes, you're allowed. I'm assuming that's you loading up the Cyclone?
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder how they're going to work that out. So if someone's not in the ship, does it still just, you say, hey, I want to tractor beam the ship, and they would have to be in game. You know, they could be somewhere way off in the distance, but it would pop up a thing that says, hey, this person wants to tractor beam one of your items.
What if by doing the mission request and you picking it up, you actually have permission to tractor that ship, but only the ship that the permission is issued for?
Like it would be like a drop-down menu for when they set it up. That could be a thing. Well, it already is, I guess. If someone,
so you're saying, I want somebody to pick up this ship from this location and transport it to that location, and I'm paying this much.
Yeah, and then that would immediately grant permission for you to do whatever with that ship. Tractor beam it, fly. I mean, they could have it set to fly it too.
Well, maybe the guy can pick if, are you allowed to tractor it? Are you allowed to open it? Are you allowed to fly it?
I would almost say it should be open rules, because they can give them the option, say, you could specify, say, a time limit or something, or like they could always have an option to go into that order and, in essence, report you to the police, I guess is the way you could put it. Where if you, it grants permission for you to fly it, but if you fly it off and don't deliver it, they can just do a quick thing that says, hey, I want to report this person for theft or whatever.
You cancel the order and notify that this guy is not doing his job properly, so you get a hit on your work report, and the police is after you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this person stole it rather than deliver it, or so. Yeah, that I always like that idea better, because if you could fly it, you know, it makes it so much easier to deliver it. Like, depending the ship, because if it's a large ship, it might be simpler, like to fly it to load it up in your transport, depending which transport you're using. Because some transports will be easy, you just tractor beam it. Like, if it's a small light fighter, you tractor beam it onto your Liberator and you go. But if you have, say, a Kraken, you have the two side hangars. So you can load up stuff on top, but if you want to load it into the side hangar, you might need to fly it in. So having permission to do either or would be nice. So you already loaded up a Cyclone.
Yes.
I guess at this point
my game was just lagging like crazy, and I just found out Icarus just came out, so Steam was unpacking it.
Of course. I had heard about Icarus. I guess I'll drive. This is your Tonk?
Yeah.
But we're not partied up, are we?
Well, I did send you a request, but...
I guess I was distracted talking.
Yeah.
F1? I should have done F11. There we go. Okay. I was gonna say, because since you have the rest of the vehicles, I can actually load them. Are you in the Tonk?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the marker. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, because the only other thing I have is the Cyclone and the Arrow, and if we're loading up the Tonk, I don't think we can fit the Arrow in there as well.
Well, it's a big if. Like, I gotta get it up this ramp somehow. I don't know. If
Or
we
you go
parked
to the
all these
front and go
boxes.
around. Yeah, isn't this the stupidest thing they've ever done? Put a ramp here and then put boxes in the way. I said you might have to just... Oh, that works. Or I was gonna say you might have to go around to the other side. Tonk doing Tonk things. I mean, I could load up a PTV, but I feel like it'd almost just be a joke. To like kill a PTV. You know it's gonna, in essence, one-shot it. PTV like nearly falls apart just driving it. Yeah, we're not gonna fit an Arrow. That being said, I could spawn the Arrow and you could fly it over.
Think you can spawn an Arrow here?
Yeah, the Arrow usually spawns on the vehicle pads because it's small like a snub nose. I don't know if it still does. It used to. Let's see if it still does. I don't have a snub nose like a whatchamacallit. I don't have the appropriate. See if it spawns. It used to, because it used to be small enough. Nope. Doesn't spawn anymore. Okay.
We have my light fighter over there.
Wow, which one did you bring?
The Car2L.
Oh, that'd be, yeah, we could see. That thing's got some big guns. I would imagine that's going to take it out pretty quickly. I mean, just for a joke, I guess I can put a PTV in there. Delivery time 2 seconds. What? I mean, a PTV makes sense. What are you going to do with a PTV? I mean, oh, I forgot to turn the music back on. All right. So this can be the first crew. So what we can do is use it to take out all the different stuff we put in there, and then we'll destroy the Spartan using, I guess, your Car2L. Oh, that's right. You can't use R in vehicles for some weird reason. I never understood why it didn't work. Why do I immediately flip my PTV? Gosh darn PTVs. Well, it's magically flipped itself back over, so... This is why PTV races are so funny. These things are
Talk
so
a
glitchy.
moment about how great the lights on the Car2L are.
God, those are so bright. All right, little PTV. Gotta love a little PTV action. I can't wait till we have, what is it, the Javelin? Like, one of them you can drive vehicles in, isn't it? Like, the Javelin has like a little railway system in it.
I have to admit, I really don't care much about the Javelin and the Idris, so I don't know so little about them.
Yeah, if I remember right, the Javelin actually is going to have a transit system in it. I don't think you can drive in it. I thought there was one of them that you can actually drive in, but I do know the Javelin's going to have its own little transit system to get from one side to the other because it's so freaking big. Bow.
There's some place out here without drugs.
So I actually came up with an interesting org idea. I shouldn't actually call it an interesting org idea. it's something that in essence kind of already exists, but I don't know if Star Citizen has an org that is doing it. I almost wanted to create an org that is kind of like a Red Cross slash like the Fuel Rats from Elite Dangerous. In essence, all you do is people can reach out to you, and you go out and for free you will like pick them up and deliver them somewhere, refuel them. You can hire them for like escort service, or for free they'll go out and take out pirates that are like locking down locations. So
They
yeah,
do exist. They have a Discord for it.
well, I know like in Elite Dangerous, the Fuel Rats do a lot of that stuff. Like they'll go help people who need refueling and stuff. I didn't know if Star Citizen has a group that does all that yet. I would
They do.
guess so.
They started up just helping people who got stuck and didn't know how to like get out of
Yeah,
some situation, or their ship crashed and they were stranded on a planet or whatever.
yeah. I'll have to look around and see if I can find out who these groups are and see how much they actually do. But in essence, like the entire goal would just be to make the game more enjoyable. That's why the big one I didn't know if other groups did is like those people that'll lock down Lathan or Bezdek or something, or like PO, those pirate groups. It's like you would just for free send out a crew to wipe them out. Be like, you're being a-holes. Here, we're gonna send out a crew of 10 people to annihilate you.
Like the people who decided to do fights over Tram and Myers.
Yeah. It's like literally the group would just go crush them. Just be like, you're being a-holes. Like pirating's a thing. Like they wouldn't be doing it out of like, hey, you guys are griefing or something like that. Like that's a thing. Pirates would go lock down a place and say, you pay us, or you know.
You want to
Here,
try
die.
a different planet?
Yeah, there's so many rocks here.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of what would be better?
Hurston?
Actually, Hurston wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's just take off and go to Hurston. But that was part of the idea I had, was adding that to it, where it's you would, if someone like locks down a place or whatever and is being pirates, you would send out a crew to annihilate them.
Only issue I have with that is I don't like people.
So you just wouldn't like working in a group, is what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't like go out and help just random
Oh, I see what
people.
you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily the most social by that aspect either. But
I mean, it looks funny because I have a lot of like helping vehicles, repair vehicle, and ambulance, and this and that, but they're more meant as to help out me and my friends with what we're doing.
yeah, and there's a difference between I guess, how do we put it? Socializing from the standpoint of a group of people that you want to play with and like do stuff with, or creating a small org for you to do things with, and the open community in public.
Quantum travel complete.
So it is a very different thing. The only issue you run into is, can you have a big enough group that you, like friends and close people and org, to do the things you want to do? Because that's the issue I'm running into with New World right now, and one of the frustrations I'm having with New World and why I'm not playing it as much at the moment. I thought we already were in the party.
Nah.
I guess. Because I had accepted your invite, but I guess maybe it had been too long. Is in New World, all I've got left in the game, outside of, the more open stuff, like fighting for territories, invasions, The issue I'm running into with all the quests that are left is they all require at least 5 people, and a lot of them require 10 plus people to complete. And it's like, unless you have a friend group that big, or you're in a big house, the game's telling me you don't have enough friends, screw you. And it got worse, because they're like, oh, people think the end game's too easy and we can't put out content fast enough. Let's just go and make it even more difficult. So it's like some of the 5-man missions that we could have done, and we didn't get around to yet, are now impossible. Like there was one of them that we could 2, potentially 3-man fairly easy. Some of those elite zones that we would go for weapons, like weapon quests. The last time we tried it, we had 3 people and we barely killed one of the elite mobs because they buffed like a lot of the spellcaster elite mobs. So it used to be you could potentially solo them, and like 3-man we would have been able to not easily get through it, but fairly easily get through it. We attempted it after they did the buff, and it took us forever, and we had multiple people get knocked down to take out one of these mobs. The group after this was one of those plus 5 other mobs. We're like, this is it, we're done. Like, even with 5-man, this would be almost too rough. So New World told me, you don't have enough friends, screw off. I don't know if we just want to go outside Lorville.
I jumped to that thing you were looking at.
Oh, okay. R and D. Where'd it go? Oh, it was on this side, so it'd be this one. That's fine. I was just trying to remember if R&D had... I don't think it has like defenses.
Quantum travel engaged.
So that's...
We don't need to go to it, like we can just
Yeah, fly somewhere near
fly
it.
down to the ground.
But that's part of the issue we're gonna have to see about with Star Citizens. By the time it gets far enough into it where you can use your Orion, do we have a big enough friend group to even operate that big of a ship? Like, we'll have to see. I think by then we will, because there's so many people who want to play the game that are just like on break / letting it develop. I think by the time it gets that far into it, people will come back to it.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to operate stuff like that.
Oh, I've never been at the ocean.
I've never been in
Can
the
you
ocean
believe
either.
that?
Did they add all the wave
Yeah.
animations? Ooh. I remember them talking
the
about
ocean
them.
is waving. Don't know how realistic it looks, but yeah, it's
As
waving.
a Gen 1, I'm sure it's pretty impressive by game standards.
Isn't the island?
If that island's flat enough, we can just do all our testing on
Yeah.
the island. We can check out the waves while we're at it.
See. Yeah, I can shoot here, no problem.
I've never been to the ocean. There's so much of Hurston I haven't checked out. Because there's a whole area with trees and stuff too, right? It's almost like a, almost like an African, savanna. Where it's got a bunch of the plants that you can pick up, trees. And then you've got the flats, like almost like salt flat areas. With its general rocky area, the big ocean. Like Hurston's got so many different areas. And for the most part, I've always just been to Lorville. Because there's no other place that has decent trade. I don't do illegal drugs, so I don't really go to... is R&D actually the one that you go to for the drugs? I forget. Like I've been there once because we were chasing like a PvP bounty and he was there.
R2L feels at home here.
I could
An
see that.
insect between cactus.
Yeah, the rocks don't seem too unbearable here, so. Trying to see if this is... gonna work.
Find the flattest spot possible. If not, there are plenty of other islands and land around.
I'm thinking actually. Ooh, hello. Get
I
that
think
nose
it's
up.
pretty windy.
Yeah, I can tell. It is being a problem. Now I can't see because of it. It's actually causing issues.
It was so fine weather when I came here.
Yeah. Okay, let's realign this so I can get an idea. Because next to me was a fairly flat spot I wanted to redirect into, but then the wind became a problem.
The amount of dust that lifts up when you get close to the ground, it's so cool.
It's a problem. I can't see. I can't see anything right now. Okay. Bring the nose down. Where's 0? All right, 0. There we go. I can't tell if this is that flat spot I wanted. I'm literally hitting control to, you know, come down, and it's not coming down. The nose just wants to stay up. I think this is good enough. I can't tell. I want to like scoot off to the side a little bit. Come on, stay flat. Let's try this.
Give you some light.
The issue is more of just like the dust and everything.
Yeah, but still. With
Oh,
the
that
light.
cactus is the issue. Okay. I keep forgetting that like these plants actually have physics and stuff.
And they're stronger than steel bars.
Yeah. This is definitely not flat enough.
What about over here? Check out this spot here.
God.
Right where I am.
Watch out. Seems pretty good. Yeah, it'd be nice if those cacti would, you know, crush.
Yeah.
Alright. I'd say that's about as good as it's gonna get. So. Alright. That was rough. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, I think I'll start by pulling the Spartan out, and then we'll start bringing out some targets. We're gonna see the Gatling first. And I'm curious. We'll have to go get out the, those NN-14s. Neutron cannons were so strong, and I don't think they've changed them much, if I remember right. So I wonder if they're still as good as they were before. We're actually going to use the rear ramp. Sweet. Yeah, I still can't believe there's no remote turret seat. Why?
Yeah, I saw your rant about that, and I actually don't agree. I understand some people feel like that, but some people feel the opposite. I've seen too many people rant about how you need too many people to operate every vehicle. So here you get a vehicle where the driver can drive and operate the little turret.
Well, but you could do that in an Ursa. Like, the co-pilot doesn't have to be in the remote turret.
Yeah.
It's more of an options thing. I don't know. To me, it's just, it'd be so difficult to cover fire. Like, you're 8 guys getting out of the vehicle without having a co-pilot in the remote turret. Like, I don't think there should be a seat that, like, has to operate the remote turret. Or, you know what I mean? Like, the driver being able to operate it is good. It just seems so weird to me that it's that way, but...
Oh, and the ladder will be usable in the future.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I don't know what you would do up there. That's more of what I was confused about. Because this thing does look like it has a radar disc or something on top. So I don't know if that's why you would go up on top in the future. It's just, yeah, it confused me a little bit. It's like, what would you climb up there for? What the heck is that? I actually did not notice that before. Antenna?
Yeah.
Why is it bent like that?
Communication.
Okay, so we need to get all the targets out. Oh, so we can put the Grey Cat PTV near it, put the Cyclone near it. Got the Tonk too. Yeah, I'm really curious about the Tonk. Like, how easily is it going to take out a Tonk, and then how easily can a Tonk take it out? I want to get in it, not exit it. There we go. Is there, and if there isn't, should there be a button that just automatically gets in anything near you? Or you like
No.
automatically get whatever seats immediately next to you?
No.
Like, there's part of me that kind of wishes there was, but then there's the other part of me that's like, does it really matter? It's just, they just might need to fix the hitbox for some of these vehicles. Some of them are, I think especially ground vehicles are the hardest to find the thing to get in them. I'm gonna actually park this like over here. I wonder if that Cyclone's too close to shoot. We'll have to see. All right. Is that everything? Is that all of them? Cyclone, Tonk.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess now the question is, which ones do we want to... Oh, you're gonna use the car tool to blow up the Spartan. That's right. All right, let's see how quickly this thing can blow up some of these. I would imagine the PTV is gonna be almost instant. The Cyclone, I'm kind of curious about. We do have to make sure that anything that has a shield actually has the shield on.
Let me move this away.
All right, PTVs, I'm assuming, gonna blow up very quickly. Let's see. Oh, my mouse sensitivity is really awkward when it comes to this. Yep, that went very quick. All right. Oh, that's... Man, this sensitivity, I actually need a low sensitivity mode for controlling this. How do you change the sensitivity of the turret again? Is it E? That's relative mode. Actually, relative mode is good enough.
They changed it.
Oh, that's kind of far away. I wonder how well this is gonna shoot that distance. Let's see.
It's hitting.
That took what, like 100 shots? That was about 100 shots each. That's cool. I mean, it went out pretty quick, but that's not nearly as fast as I expected. That says quite a bit about that. I guess here's the real test, because the tank's still powered on, right?
It should be.
Yeah,
I didn't power it off.
so it's got
if
the
you want me, I can go in and check.
I mean, if you didn't power it off, it should be fine.
Yeah.
So it should have shield and it should have decent armor. So let's see.
Yeah.
I have 165 shots left. Let's see how long this takes.
Check fire.
Shield looks like it went down.
Ballistics low. Check fire.
Wow, I'm gonna run out.
Ballistics prime.
I ran out. So it took over. That makes me wonder if it would even have enough at full ammo to blow it up. I want to go see how much. Yeah, go see how much is left in it, and then I don't. Since it survived, I almost want to blow up. See how quickly that can blow up a Spartan.
Oh, you need to come over here.
Was it like nowhere close? Oh, that's
No,
cool.
No. It's got damage on it.
That's. Oh, look at those big burned out. Oh, that's. Oh. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it. How hurt is it though? Actually, yeah, you get in the back, right?
Yeah.
Where's the button? Oh, it's one of the. Yeah.
Look at the door.
All right. How much? How hurt is it? Get in. Where's the shields menu? Which this doesn't have like a thing for me to see.
Well, you would probably need something to scan it. Potentially.
Yeah, you might have to get in your car tool and scan it. Because it doesn't have like with all the ships where you have the little menu to see. Yeah, if you want to get in and scan it, then I'll shoot. I'm gonna actually shoot the Spartan.
Yeah. Do that.
So I'm gonna wait for you to scan it and give me a indicator for its health.
But I was pleasantly surprised by that damage effect. Like it's still early.
I mean, for what I'm assuming is still probably Gen 1 or Gen 0, however you want to think about it. It's pretty nice. Like it has under like textures below what would be the outer layer. You can see like some of the piping and all that. Decent coloration. Looks pretty nice. Oh, I do have a scan mode. What's the more dedicated scan again? B? I guess that doesn't work in. Oh, there we go. B mode. I'm worried that if I hit, is it going to shoot if I click?
Yes.
No, it's not. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to like scan the Spartan, but
So let's see. I'm not really getting the readings I want. Where does it say something about your health? Oh, over here. No.
I also want to shoot the Spartan once and see like if we can get an idea of how much damage it does to its health, but like I'm getting no scan options pointing at the Spartan.
Did you turn the Spartan off?
No, it should be turned on.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't get a target on it.
Should be fully up.
Oh, I got health on the Spartan 100. Why am I not getting health on you?
I don't know. Do you want to stay locked onto the Spartan? I want to shoot it and then see what if the health drops.
Just gonna scan you one more time. Just
Yeah.
a second. Scanning. Okay, no, I get health. Your health is 81.3.
Oh, it took 165 shots from both of them. And that's all it did? Now, with that being said, the shield had to go down first.
Yeah.
So we might have to try this again with full ammo 1v1 first and then see what happens. Is there somewhere else on Hurston we can claim vehicles other than Lorville?
I don't know, actually. I've never been much on Hurston.
Yeah, all right, we might have to try not aerial because I think there's somewhere to spawn on one of the others. All right, do you want to get a lock on the Spartan? And we'll see how much the
I got
health
luck on
drops.
the Spartans.
Okay, here we go. Let's shoot. Did that immediately blow it up?
Yes, it did.
What?
Well, it is a size 5 gun, I mean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that seems almost too, like we just took out an IFV in one shot.
With a size 5 gun, it's what the tank is made for.
Well, but at the same time, think about this from a combat situation. If you're going on a frontline combat fight, why? I mean, you'd almost why bring the Spartan then? Is kind of what I'm getting at. Like
it will protect you from handgun fire.
Yeah, but if you're gonna try to drop in, because the whole point of the Spartan is to get on the front line with 8 people. Like you want to get in action, drop off 8 people. You're not gonna be able to go in at all if there's a tank. Like
No.
you're
No.
you're gonna be completely locked out of the fight. So if your opponent has a tank, the only way to drop off people is gonna be probably like
I
a
feel
Valk.
like that's the same in real life. Like you're not gonna drive up in a Humvee to a group of tanks and say, "Hello, we're just getting off here."
Yeah. I'm trying to think actually. What's the equivalent of the? Because as far as I know, there is heavily armored troop drop off. I'm trying to think what the equivalent would be. But yeah, it just makes me wonder because why would you take?
It doesn't matter. Like in real life, you don't drive a tank up to a tank. Like look at the Gulf War. They tried to take out everything with helicopters and planes before driving in with the tanks.
Yeah, part of it does depend on the tank too. Like, yeah, whether you're running in with a heavy armored tank versus a light armored tank. Because yeah, if a heavy armored tank rolls up, you're not bringing another tank in. Like,
But again, the World War situations where you had some tanks that could penetrate and some who couldn't,
Yeah.
those times are over. Today, a shot will penetrate. It's a game of who shoots first.
it is. I mean, yeah, almost everyone now just has heavy tanks. You don't
Yeah.
see light tanks much anymore, just because, like, the downside to them, which is that they're slow, isn't as big a deal as it used to be. The accuracy, distance fire capability of them, like, it's just not as big of a deal. This is gonna be interesting though. This makes me wonder when I would use a Spartan.
For me, it's pretty simple. Like if you do a bunker mission, you're doing it with a group of friends. Like you land your Hercules outside of range of turrets, and you drive in, like where you can get into cover and unload the people, and they
I
run
guess
in.
I haven't tested a bunker mission with only ground vehicles. No, I think I kind of tried to like roll up in a Cyclone once. The turrets can shoot you,
No, they can't.
can't they? I
No,
thought I
not
remember
now.
rolling up in a ground vehicle and I was getting shot at by the turrets.
No.
About the only use that I could see is, yeah, attacking like an outpost or something. If the turrets can't at all shoot ground vehicles, yeah, rolling up in a Spartan and dropping off 8 people would be good.
Oh.
It just limits its use a lot more than I expected. I figured it might take 2 shots. Like the first one nearly kills it and the second one kills it. A single shot? Like you better be a You better have fairly flat ground and be a good driver. Like if a tank rolls up and you weren't expecting it.
But don't forget, it is a size 5 gun.
I mean, it's a tank. I mean,
It's a shot. It's a ballistic shot, even like it's penetrating and everything.
yeah. Well, I'm not. I mean, it's just. It makes me wonder if the Spartans' defenses should have been slightly stronger, like slightly better armor. And a lot of this might change too.
Yeah.
Armor is still, I think, nowhere close to being finalized.
No.
Shields they're figuring out here and there. Armor is still very broken.
I think they've said that nothing has armor at the moment. It's like you have
It's
health
health pool.
on stuff, but you don't have armor on anything.
They in essence they just buffed health on some of the stuff that's supposed to have stronger armor to somewhat make up for it. Might as well drive this thing back into the Herc.
Just abandon it.
I don't get to drive it too often, so I do want one. I just can't justify it at the moment.
Well, it's $500,000 in game. Like, just buy it in game.
Yeah. Same with the ballista. Like I have the buyback on the ballista, but
I think it's totally defendable spending $500,000 on that
oh yeah,
vehicle.
it's good. It's just the tank is it's a
Remember
little
to,
weird. Yeah, which is
turn off
P,
weapons.
right?
P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain stopped working. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. The driving feels a little skittish, slightish.
Yeah.
But
It feels like you're driving on metal.
yeah, overall, I have no real complaints about it.
No.
I think it's one of the few vehicles they've released that it functions entirely how I would expect and do expect. Like I said, I'm not so much concerned about the damage this thing did as much as the defense on the Spartan seems weird, but I'm wondering if when they implement better fixes to armor, if it will stay one shot or if it might become 2 shots. But I don't know.
But again, if you have a Herc and you want to do some kind of combat and whatever, there's no reason not to have a Nova.
Oh yeah, yeah. A Nova. If you're at all doing any sort of ground combat, you should have a Nova. Like, you should have a Nova. And
If you can move it around.
yeah.
That for me, that's a big. If.
Well, if you're doing ground combat, I don't even know if that's a condition on it, because you might be doing ground combat as like base defense once bases are a thing.
Yeah.
So you would just set up your base and then have your Nova tank roll up, in your base, spawn it there, get it delivered by someone.
But again, I don't know what we're surprised about. Did you forget about when you took out ships with the Nova tank in the Herc?
I mean, partially did. It's just the Nova tank, man. It's so strong. I think part of why I'm shocked that it took 1 shot, other than, like I said, I felt like the Spartan. I thought it would be 2. And I do have to remember that armor is its big thing, and armor's not entirely in the game yet. But another reason behind it is the ballista. Like, the ballista is supposed to be, stupidly strong, size 5 torps, size 7 torps. And a big thing of what weakens the ballista is the fact that hitting someone with a torp is difficult. If that person at all knows that there's enemies in the area, like, dodging a torp is not that difficult.
Okay, so I just looked up this gun. The alpha damage on this gun is 18,500.
That's pretty ridiculous. I almost wonder, is that... Well, alpha's against shields, isn't it? Or am I backwards?
Alpha is just the amount of damage.
Raw
it
damage.
does.
Raw damage. Because isn't there a damage number against shields and like a damage number There's two
No.
damage numbers, isn't there?
No, we have DPS and we have alpha damage.
Okay.
Alpha damage is just like saying what each round is doing.
Yeah, total damage. Like, okay. Because I could have swore at one point there was two damage types. Like, one would tell you how good it did against shields, and one would just give you damage, but I might be wrong. Huh. Because it's ballistic, so some of that's going to be piercing. I haven't looked at this, and so I wonder if I still have some of those old spreadsheets from like 3.8 and all that.
Then again, the Spartan has a hull of 33,000. But then again, you don't... Hull is not like a health bar on top of a
No.
character like in...
No, not at the moment. It's
And I don't think it ever should be. Like, if you do enough damage, you get things exploding.
well, and
Uh,
yeah, and
that
that's
is
the thing
the
is
end of it.
your hull could be 33,000, but like I'm using a piercing round, I'm hitting a small part of your armor. If I can penetrate through that, what's it matter what your quote unquote total health is?
Like 18,000, I took out half of your...
Yeah, it goes
of
back
your
to War
structure.
Thunder. If I penetrate a shot and hit the driver,
Yeah.
does it matter how strong the armor, the entire tank's armor is? It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I pierced and killed the person piloting it. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it shouldn't be that entire thing.
The Spartan actually has more hull HP than the Nova tank.
Which makes sense. I mean, a vehicle like the Spartan, its big thing should be to be armored to the gill, where it's like I'm not going to be doing a lot of damage, but my goal is just get in, drop people off, get out. Like, you know, 2 size 2s is a fairly good amount of firepower, but it's not crazy, you know, like a tank where you've got just one big cannon. Or similar to ballista, which is giant missiles. So like it needs enough to do good against infantry or light vehicles, like a TR Cyclone.
Then you have the same turret on the Nova as on the Spartan, size 2 turret.
Double size 2 though? Is the Spartan double size 2 or just one size 2?
Double.
Double, okay. I never
And
really
then you
messed
have
with it,
the-
so.
And then you have the 24 missiles.
Was it Magda? Ida? I don't know, I'll just go back to Ariel, I guess. Load up again over there. I don't know, it's so hard to say at this point, but it does just remind me how crazy the Nova tank is. Because that also makes me think that it must one-shot a ballista. Which, I mean, the ballista shouldn't ever get close to anything. It's one of those things that you'd roll up and you'd be in the back. You'd be back in your support range. This does also make me wonder, at some point are we going to get artillery? And like, how are they going to do artillery?
And again, how much more effort are they gonna put into ground combat in a game that essentially is a space game and you can just fly a spaceship in and shoot everything down?
I kind of hope they do more. Because like once you have bases set up, I see no reason why your base shouldn't have the capability to put SAMs on it. Like, you know, anti-air turrets set up on your base or around your base.
Well, like I just fire a few torpedoes from 30 kilometers distance and that's it.
Yes and no, because they could. There's no reason that they can't do like automated missile towers.
Yeah, no, they will.
So like you set up your base.
Point defense.
Yeah, you set up your base. You have blades that would be in your base to run automated turrets, and yeah, you could have mini anti-missile turrets that like have a chance to shoot down a torp that gets shot at the base or a missile that gets shot at the base. So, you know, how many you have would up your percentage chance of countering the missile.
Which actually brings up another question, like how much should people be allowed to attack bases where players are offline sleeping?
Yeah, and this is one of the biggest issues that any MMO PvPvE game has to deal with. How do you deal with like offline raiding and that kind of stuff? Because you want to support small companies or small groups by having some capability for them to defend themselves, but you don't want to make it so strong that you don't give some benefit to a big group that can constantly have people online playing.
And we know this is not going to be instant. Like, if you own a piece of land, nobody else can own that piece of land.
Yeah, which will encourage people to fight over land or resources.
Yeah.
It'll encourage pirating. It does make me wonder. And one of the ways to potentially deal with this is, you know, blade servers that we're going to use in ships, they can set that up in a base too. Like you get so many blade servers that say might up your potential for mining resources, or up your potential for running, say, drones at your base. So like if you're running a mining operation, maybe you have drones that repair ships at your base, or you have drones that help with loading and unloading cargo. So you can bring in like your mining ship, and drones will help load cargo into your storage or something. And this is a way they could balance it, where if you're a big group that constantly has people online, you can use those blades to, say, up your operations in your base. If you're a smaller group, you could, say, use those blades to run defense turrets, so automated defenses.
And again, they just need to defend long enough for like security forces to potentially show up.
Yeah, depending what system you're in. If you have a base in Pyro, defenses are going to be a huge deal. If you have a base in whatever Terra, I think it is, you're going to be fine. The military is literally in that system. So, yeah, you only have to last a certain time.
Well, wasn't Pyro a non-secure system?
What was that? That's what I'm saying. If you have a base in Pyro, like, no one's coming to help you.
Yeah.
But if you're in Terra,
oh,
you know,
Terra,
where the military of the UEE is based out of Terra, you're probably fine. Like, you only have to last long enough for either the police to show up or for the military to show up. Like,
just Stanton. Like, Stanton is a pretty secure system
Yeah.
as well. You do have military presence as well as like 3 different private security forces.
as well as well, yeah, it's one of the most secure places.
Yeah.
Which we'll see, because there's still a lot of security they need to add that's not in game yet. Because they were wanting to add a bunch of even more turrets, like in cities, to help defend, and I know there was quite a bit they still wanted to do. All right. So now the question is, do I put the Gatlings back on to see how well it takes out the tank, or if it can take out the tank? I might just switch to NN14s. I would imagine the NN14s are going to do a better job of taking out the Nova tank.
You got the damage on the other side?
What was that?
Does it still have the damage?
It does. Nice. All right. Let's get this one out of here. We'll get a fresh one. I just kind of wanted to drive it because, you know, I don't get to drive one off.
I'm actually not there with you.
ran off. That's open, right? Yeah. There's on that side, right? Yeah.
Does the tank have lights?
Yeah. Look like barely decent lights.
Pretty nice.
God, this thing's so ridiculous. Did we ever try? I think we did try like tank versus tank, didn't we?
Probably. I think it's like one shot to take down the shield and one to take down the tank.
Yeah. Which, if it is, does fit into that. Like, if it's that way for the tank, shouldn't it be that way kind of for the ballista and stuff? But I don't know. Either way. Once again, what we have to tell ourselves, this game is not done yet, so all of this could change.
Oh, it does have one more shield than the Spartan.
It's got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let me claim everything. So... I don't know why I've got multiple Ares now. Something glitched. I don't know what glitched, but... See, uninitialized. What? Spartan flame. And we didn't. We used your cyclone, not mine, right?
Yes.
So it's, which I think they all have the same armor and shields, don't they? No matter which one.
Check.
I'll spawn mine. Mine's just a normal one. BO1. Yeah.
One shield, 5,400 hull, and let's see the combat one. One shield, 5,400. Yeah, it's the same.
I was gonna say I can't like there's not a size difference or anything, so I can't imagine there's much difference between all the cyclones. On that standpoint, obviously, weapons and all of that, there's a difference.
MT is the same as well.
I do need to get a TR. I feel like the TR is just the best one for combat. I mean, the AA would probably be decent. I don't know. I don't think we've ever tested how good the AA is.
I would probably say that the MT is better than the TR.
The MT's remote, isn't it? Versus,
No, it's man-towed. You got the same gun, then you have 4 missiles in it.
oh, that might be the one I'm thinking of. Which one's the TR then?
Just have a gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking the MT then. I was thinking that TR was that one, but... I was thinking the wrong one. Yeah, that's the newest one, the MT, right? Yeah, so that's the one I was thinking of. So we agree, I just did not know what I was talking about.
The AA that has 2 missiles, and it's just like, why would you have the TR or the AA when you can have the MT that combines them both?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was saying that that one's just, why would you not? All right, I'll actually BRB. Here. That's weird. I was trying to find my my thing to put my drink in, and I don't know where it's at. So that's okay. My coffee went through me. All right, I need to switch to NN14s. I need to grab a Spartan then.
Thank you, and please visit again.
So I feel like putting NN14s on it might make it slightly better at anti-vehicle. Like if someone rolls up on you in a cyclone or something. Whereas the ballistics that it starts with are probably better for anti-infantry. Oh, I didn't realize now that it only will show you stuff that's available.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I can't switch weapons then. Because they're technically at PO.
Well, as soon as you claim them on the console, you have them available. In the loadout manager.
How do you claim weapons?
Oh, you need the weapons. Yeah, no. No. Well, what if you claim the whole ship?
Well, problem is I wanted the weapons I bought at PO.
Yeah, they're at PO. Of course.
Yeah. Hey, CIG, don't implement things too
Okay.
early.
Okay, so you load up the vehicles and you fly to PO and you equip the new weapons.
Exactly.
And then you,
It's stupid. CIG, you did this too early. You should have waited to implement this until I can load up the weapons on a ship and then take them somewhere.
yeah.
Were we just talking yesterday, was it? Or was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I think we were talking about like them implementing features too early. So I have to spawn a Spartan, fly to PO, switch the weapons. Okay. That's fun. Which then means the Gatlings will probably be at PO. Then again, it just seems early. Too early. Okay, let's try this. So yeah, because in the future you would just, when I bought the weapons, I would have just loaded it up on the Herc and taken it with me. But now I guess the only way to do that would have been to put them on a ship, put the ship in the Herc, bring it here, and then swap out the weapons. Interesting. Interesting. I guess I could just reload your Tonk, but it's already got damage to it. Then again, I guess I could use it and just we'll have to keep in mind that it used 100. Wow, but shield regens.
it from the other side.
What was that?
Shoot it from the other side.
Well, the issue's the shield. Like,
Yeah, but the shield should be back to normal.
that's what I'm getting at, though, is like, I can't just continue and say, oh, it took 165 plus 100 or something. Because I had to go through the shield twice. Open. Like, it wouldn't be a problem if I, you know, wanted to shoot, but, like, checking damage. Because I don't think I can repair. Yeah, because you can't do that either. Actually, if I roll it up on that pad, can I repair it? I don't think you can repair vehicles, right? You roll up on the pad, it just yells at you. It's like, hey, get off the pad. We'll go see. If I get in it, can I repair it on, like, the ship platform or something? Let's go see. I always love how, like, a tank can't roll over a light.
And you don't know what the light is made out of.
One of these days, they'll implement that.
Maybe they should make the Spartan out of the same material the lights are made of.
Yeah. Then no matter how many shots, they wouldn't blow up. In reality, the light just goes 20 feet underground. Alright, so we're just gonna stop here for now. What if I just do this? It's like I have no idea if it repairs. What if I go into... I don't think it even lets me enter the remote turret while
By
you're
the
in
way,
arm assist.
In the video they gave, the one from today, the reason why the raft only has 3 containers and not 4.
Why is that?
There are 3 reasons for it. First is the designer wanted it to be able to pick up and move around without hitting other containers. Second is, as a long-haul vehicle, the containers look too cramped on the loading arms if there were 4. And then they wanted to make it a starter ship, and putting 4 on would bring it too high up in category.
Okay.
I do feel the price of the ship matches the load it has.
Okay. I guess my response to all that is, most of it isn't a proper answer. Without the condition of them saying, we like the ship the size it is. Because obviously, like, oh, they're too cramped. The ship could be slightly bigger. You know, like, slightly increasing the size answers a lot of those things. I'm like, why not 4? They could have made it slightly bigger. They could have done blah, blah, blah. But I agree. If they put the constraint in, we think that the sizing of the ship is perfect for that last reason. We want it to be an earlier ship, more of a starter ship. Then yes, I agree with all that stuff. So I think overall they're correct. I feel like maybe just the way they went about, which I don't know how they said it versus you summarizing it. But yes, overall, I would agree with all that. I like the fact the raft is, I wouldn't say a starter ship. It's a,
Yeah.
if we call starter ships tier 1, it's a tier 2. It's that
Yeah,
step
I
up
agree.
from a starter. And I
Yeah.
like it being that. I agree, 3 containers, I think fit well, look well for that purpose. 4 would be way too cramped. So yeah, I mean, I agree with all that. But yeah, just like I said, I don't know how much of that was you summarizing versus the way they went about saying it. But I would have almost, if I was them, I would have almost led with, first off, we want the ship to be like one step up from starter. And then like we wanted the size to stay the way it is. So due to that, if we did a fourth, it would be too cramped. It would make it hard to like pick up and manipulate cargo, blah, 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 et cetera, all the reasons that you mentioned. But yeah, I agree with the sizing. And to me, that's a good amount because that's 96 SCU, is that right? 332s. So I think it's 96 SU.
Yes. 96.
That's a good, for its size, that's a good, nice amount. If they would did 4, you'd be pushing Taurus capacities. And
And the Taurus is up at what now? 190?
yeah, in the 190 range. Now, there's an argument to be made for it being cheaper than the Taurus, even with similar cargo capacity, because the Connie has way more combat capability, you know, et cetera. Like, look at the hull versus any other similar cargo-sized ships, and the hull is cheaper for its cargo capacity. Hull B is massive cargo capacity and really cheap. It's like $100. So you compare it to something like Cutlass Black. It's like way more cargo capacity for that money, but that's because it doesn't have the combat capability, the internal storage versus external storage. So if they added one more container, it probably would push it to $160 or something versus 100. And that puts it out of the range of, I think, one tier up of a ship. Now you're getting into way more expensive. Yeah, I think they struck a good balance with it. Especially when we start considering how quick unload and reload will be with it. Like, it's gonna, I think, still compete with the Taurus, despite being so much less cargo because of the convenience of the cargo.
I can tell you exactly where they talk about it in the video if you want to see it for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we could pull up. I doubt the conversation's very long, so we could pull it up and look at it. All right. I gotta go to PO.
Complete video, and it's at minute 41:15.
Oh, am I just not out of Atmo? I would imagine I'm out of Atmo already. Yeah. Why no work?
Star Citizen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a random jump. Not down there. We either need to go to an OM or, if we can, straight to Crusader would be nice. Aberdeen. Yeah, sure. Let's jump up to OM5, and then I should be able to set route. And then as we're jumping to Crusader, we'll pull it up and launch it.
Engage. Quantum
Okay.
travel complete.
Oh, look. It now lets me jump. Jump to random thing, fixes issues.
You
This-
still got the standard engine on it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we could probably watch the whole video then.
I've not. I still consider myself poor, so I haven't upgraded anything, really.
No, me neither.
Quantum travel engage. Quantum travel complete.
All right.
I enjoy the long jumps. I watch videos and do stuff while I do a jump.
All right, you said it's at what? What was-
41:15.
41. Here's 41:13. That should be close enough. Okay. Oh, it glitched. Of course it did.
I had so many quantum jump problems today.
All right, let's get this down here. Full screen. Music off. Why is that? All right.
When you're actually going to be escaping from pirates at some point, you want to quickly be able to drop your pod and run, because the reality is the pirate wants your goods, not you. So if you leave your pod behind and then fly off, probably just going to let you get away, which, considering you don't have a lot of weapons,
I don't know.
sounds like a good
I
deal
agree
to me.
with that, but depends the pirate.
John, let's jump into some higher level stuff. So some broader features. There are a number of things that we've talked about over the years. Big sweeping, apocalyptic changes
Yeah,
to
say that
ships and
word.
whatnot. Just features that should absolutely kill every Carrack.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and ask them about that. I was going to get Mark with that one.
Was that
Where is
4115?
player-facing modularity? We've been hearing about this thing for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Okay.
Is that was 4115? Unless you're talking a different 4115.
Oh. But I just thought I got a different.
And what can you tell us, if anything, about this system?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's. Okay, let's jump back again.
And when we tried to jam more in there, it just started looking cramped and cramped and
Oh
cramped.
no, it's actually a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Let's hope we'll approach
It's
that early next year.
40
Hopefully.
15.
Okay.
So it's 1 minute before that.
Right
Sorry.
where I'm at. Yep.
Okay. We got a raft question here. Why does the Argo raft only have 3 containers when it looks like it could fit several more?
So when the RAF was actually going through its early concept and design stages, we went through a load of different iterations for
Yeah.
what we wanted to do with the cargo, ranging from it being one huge giant pod that you put cargo inside, like the Thunderbird style, where you could put a vehicle in, drive out, or whatever. Putting
right.
loads of different ones on, but in the end, we ended up settling on the 3 cargo pods, and there's a couple of different reasons. The first one being that it's nice, quick, and easy to pick up a pod, move away without any risk of accidentally hitting your other cargo containers. Another one is it is an early starter long haul vessel, and when we tried
Yeah,
to
long
jam
haul.
more in there,
So
it just
much-
started
so
looking
much fuel.
cramped and cramped and cramped, and the mechanisms started looking more flimsy and flimsy and flimsy. And when you're actually going to be escaping from pirates at some point, you
Okay.
want to quickly be able to
Back to
drop
where
your
we
pod
were.
and run, because
Yeah.
the reality is the pirate wants your goods, not you.
Yep. Okay. So it wasn't quite as much. In essence, it comes down to it was too cramped. They would have to make the ship bigger, etc. Yeah. I would agree with that. I think 3 is a good balance. 4 would be a bit cramped. Like when I looked at it, I didn't at all think, hey, they could fit one more. Like it felt balanced.
Like I can
Yeah.
understand the people who want more on it, but like if that is your issue, then maybe that is not the ship you should go for.
Well,
Like you said, get a whole series.
or maybe there's going to be a raft Big Brother. Like
The Raft XL.
yeah, they could do like a Raft XL that has it's longer or wider.
Or if you had 5 Raft combined.
Oh yeah, and then you can go fight.
The pirates.
Yep, go fight the pirates. So you've got about 5. You got 5 rafts going to deliver cargo. Pirates show up and they just combine into a giant Zorg and just beat up the pirates. No, to me it's very balanced. I think they did a good job. I could see why some people would potentially want a 4th cargo pod, but we have to remember that in real world, min-maxing is not really feasible. Ooh, we could fit a fourth pod, but like they said, it's going to get cramped. It's going to be hard for mechanisms to adequately work.
The whole B is pretty similar in price, a little bit more, but similar. It's 140.
Oh, it's up to 140 nowadays? It used to be
Yeah.
100. Oh, that
And
saddens me a bit, but
that was made to carry 384 SCU.
so hold on. Pull out the calculator. Wait, why did
It
Windows key not work?
Should be around
Why? Star Citizen. Why?
at least 12.
That's what, 300 what again?
384.
Divided by 32, that's, 12. 12 containers. So 4 times 4 rafts worth of
Yeah.
cargo.
Yeah. So if you want something cheap-ish, but a lot more cargo, get a whole B.
Part of it does come down to convenience arguments. But once again, that's why I think having, like, say, a Raft XL would be nice. Like, having one that's maybe 6 or 8 pods that uses a quick release mechanism similar to the Raft, but they might have to change it. It might not be able to do that same, like, just up and down in the back for it to work. This is kind of goes back to the whole argument people had with the Rock DS. Of like, it's stupid, it should have a second laser. Like, why would you run it over a normal rock? It's like, well, A, more cargo before you have to go back and drop it off, and B, you can shoot the laser anywhere. Like, the range of motion is just ridiculous on it. So if you go in a cave, hey, there's a rock on the ceiling. Whatever, node in the ceiling. The Rock DS will shoot it without a problem. A normal rock can't. Each thing has its purpose. So the Raft, I think, fits perfectly with three containers. And yeah, if you want more, get a different ship. But I also I don't know. I haven't seen a huge amount of like frustration over it having only 3. I guess some people just wonder why it doesn't have more.
Oh, I've seen a lot of frustration over it.
Okay.
Again, I don't get it. Like, why do you pick up a ship, you know what cargo it has, and then you complain about the cargo it has?
I think a lot of it is, A, they recognize that it fits nicely for what it is, but they want it to have more. So I think some of it's that. B, I think some people want to complain enough to hopefully get a rework, and then they hope they got it cheaper. Like, oh, I picked it up. And if I complain enough that they say add a 4th cargo thing, I already have it. It's like, yeah, it might cost more, but I already own it. So what do I care? It's like they're hoping to argue it into a better ship. And some people just like to complain. That's part of it too. I'm trying to remember, what was the one I was talking to you about that on the forum was just stupid? Oh, some of it was people complaining about this next patch. Like that there's not much in it. Like it's a pretty light patch coming up. And
people are always complaining about the patches.
yeah. And it's like sometimes we're gonna get a light patch. Like part of me likes to say you shouldn't complain too much about a light patch until we start seeing patch notes. It's like if there's a bunch of bug fixes, having a few less features in a patch, not necessarily a bad thing. If there's like no bug fixes and like no content in a patch, then it might be like, okay, what'd you guys do? Like, I get having a light patch here and there might be necessary, but what did you guys do? And part of it could just be there was a lot of ship releases, a lot of ship concept. We see a lot of ships being worked on right now. They're not coming necessarily in this patch, but you know, so some of it might be that we already got a lot of the content that would potentially be in this patch. Because how many vehicles / ships did we just get? But the Ares, both versions of the Ares, Spartan, Odyssey's already being worked on.
Got the Redeemer.
Yeah, the Redeemer got finalized.
We got the A2.
Yeah, the A2 got in quote unquote a patch. That's at least 5. And I think we're missing 1 or 2. So it's like, so last patch we got way more than we normally would. So it's like, okay, well, if this patch is light, some of that's probably just because we got all that content already. That would have potentially been a patch.
They're behind time, so having a light patch will help them catch up.
Yeah, and it's holidays. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot I have to fly out of the ammo. Okay, could this get fixed in the light patch? This would be that alone would be worth it for me to have a light patch. Fix the quantum jump getting into Crusaders ammo. Please. Please. It's this is one of the reasons I don't like you were talking about running hauls out of Crusader, and it's like this alone just makes it annoying for me to do that. I actually don't know how far I have to go. Nope, still nowhere. Can I? There we go. We'll start a jump to Daymar and then we'll stop it. Which then patch after this next one was looking pretty good, wasn't it? 17?
Quantum travel complete.
Wasn't 17 looking pretty good?
Things has been moved around a little bit.
I was talking to Sanbon about the fact that the Odyssey was coming sooner than I thought, because that's going to be like 18 or 19.
Quantum travel.
Like either a 0.1, 0.2 and 18, like a 0.2 probably in 18, or 19, which is way sooner than I expected. That one was
Quantum travel complete.
felt like it was out of nowhere. Makes me really wish I could have got it.
Well, 16 doesn't have any ships in it. I think that's what people are complaining about.
Well, it also has like one location, right? It's like the Area
Derek
18.
spaceship and Area 18 hospital.
Yeah. And I know some of it's that it's stuff that people that the majority of people don't care as much about.
Getting Jumptown 2.0, which could be interesting.
Yeah, Jumptown 2.0, the points of interest. Like, I don't care about point of interests right now. Like, I don't go to explore them. I don't. But it's one of those things where I recognize its use and like why it needs to exist, why it's something that needs worked on. So I don't care that that's being worked on and that's coming out. Whereas I know some people, they don't care about them right now, so they're getting frustrated at it. It's like, this is something though where we have to remember we have to look at what its use for is in the future, like why it needs worked on now.
We're getting mining gadgets and strip laser mines.
Which I know some people aren't happy because they don't care about mining. It's like,
Well, like what it is. Like they have to work on everything.
yeah. And that's,
And then
yeah.
17, we're getting the Hangar Manager app.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, like that's where you can like in your Hangar Manager app say, hey, I want my C2 loaded with my
Huh.
Bartet and my Ballista.
Are you seeing this? Okay.
Oh, not loading.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened a bunch.
Well, that's a thing. I don't know how to feel about this. There it goes.
Proceed to assigned landing bay.
So The thing I'm actually pretty interested in is in persistent hangers.
Yeah, how close is that? Because that's one of the things that I've been wanting.
That's 317.
That's 317. That's been one of the things I've been excited about for a long time. Especially like the hangars that we own, quote unquote, that you get
Yeah.
with like ships and stuff. I still don't fully understand how that's going to be realized.
So they're making, where you choose your starting point, you will be assigned a permanent hanger that you can decorate with your stuff as you please.
Hmm.
And anywhere else, you're just being assigned a temporary hanger for landing.
Well, the part that I'm curious about is how that's going to implement, because obviously there has to be so many hangars just to even have enough like temporary ones for people coming in and out. So some places like Lorville, you can kind of understand, oh, the permanent ones might be the ones on the big building that you would pull into, because there's a whole bunch of hangars on that big building that they're not even using right now. But some of these locations, it's like, okay, well, where are those hangars going to be? How are they going to work? Oh yeah, I can use the elevator to get out.
Maybe you're not allowed to join a server if the place where you have your hangar is already occupied by players.
Well, but one of the other options is that they instance your personal hangar. So like they have a set number of personal hangars, and it's just they'll instance it.
So a door opens and a ship appears from like nothing out of the hangar.
Yeah, that's why it's like I don't know how they're gonna manage it, because it's just tricky. Because let's say everyone wants their personal hangar at Lorville and Stanton. Is there going to be enough? Is there not going to be enough? Like, if it fills up, is it okay? Well, you have to go put your hangar somewhere else. There's just so much that we don't quite know. It's like, well, they want to instance cities anyway to an extent. So yeah, is it just you're going to enter in an instance, and like you said, maybe it's not the hangar that's instanced, but the city's instanced, and like all of a sudden you're going to see a ship come out of nowhere as you're entering towards the city because of how the instance filled up. I don't know.
Well, I would say it's like rocking a rhyme.
Oh, I can't. Thank you, thank you, CIG. I can't do anything. That's great.
Oh, because you didn't... You brought the vehicle?
Yeah, but the vehicle's in the C2, so it will not recognize that it's in the C2. So I could spawn my C2, and the vehicle will be in it.
Well, what happens if you spawn it? Will it then recognize it?
That's what I'm gonna have to try.
Oh no, then you can't change anything on it because it's spawned.
Yeah.
Oh, what a headache.
Yeah, they implemented a feature too early,
Yeah.
and now there's nothing I can do. Now I just have these guns sitting at PO I can't use. It's like I'm gonna have to spawn a ship, claim a ship here that fits size 2s, stick them
no.
on it.
No. You have to go even further back. You have to spawn a ship that can fit those weapons where your base is. Then take the weapons off it, fly it without weapons to Port Olisar, put the new weapons on it, and fly it back.
Do I actually have to go that far? Because if I spawn a ship
Yes.
that can fit size 2 here, swap out the weapons.
Then you'll be leaving weapons behind at PO.
Well, but I can either come back for them or yeah, because if I claim it without guns, I'm assuming it just won't have guns.
Yeah.
Oh, this is. And the part that's annoying is, if they just would implement vehicle like garages at like space stations and stuff. Like, yeah, you can't drive out of them, but if they implemented garages for you to say work with or like manipulate your vehicles with, because like if PO had a garage on the pad, you could just spawn a vehicle in the garage and drive onto the pad and like load up the vehicle. Like the 00 pads are big enough that they could put a little mini garage on them. That would allow you to like load vehicles into ships.
I think we just need more bases around the moons where you can spawn both ships and vehicles and do these swap arounds and things and whatnot. Just as a temporary solution.
That'd be nice. I almost think there's enough. Like the only reason we're having an issue is I can't load up guns on a ship. Like, if I just could load them up in my C2, fly back.
Then again, if you had bought the stuff at New Babbage or at Lawville, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah. Because, like, we have to do the stupid workarounds. Because I can't load them up on my C2. It'd probably cost me more. PO is usually pretty cheap for, like, NN14s and stuff. But I'm just going to have to rebuy them at, like, Lorville.
Yeah.
And then claim the ship, claim it there, swap them out, and then fly off somewhere and just claim the vehicle again, and then load it up. Because loading up vehicles at Lorville is, it's horrible.
Nightmare again. Yeah.
New Babbage, not too bad. Lorville, nightmare. That actually might be the better one. Just go to New Babbage, claim it, do the swap out there, and then load it up in New Babbage. I don't want to go and do that much today. This is such a nightmare. Such a stupid nightmare. Just allow me to... But... I can't even argue that because they should have just not implemented this system for another two big patches. Like when they actually had like physicalized ship components that can be shipped like to places. All right. Well, now I just don't want to even bother. Maybe I'll spawn like an Ares and just go do some. Which Ares do I spawn now? I've got two of each.
Maybe only one of them will spawn anyway, so.
Yeah, I've got the two that apparently are at Grimhex. You know what's really stupid about this? Do you see any ships that are at PO other than one I just flew here?
No.
Yeah.
Should there be?
Yeah, because I logged out at PO last night. I flew a ship here, which I think was one of my Ares, if I remember right. Because I was going to go out and do bounty hunting. And me and Sandbon. So we had three of us playing. And the one person logged out. They had my Saber. So they had AFK'd with my Saber because they wanted to try out the Saber. Me and Sandbon logged out and was going to log back in, but they locked down the server. So they weren't letting people rejoin the server, despite the fact the pop was at like 26 or something. So for some reason, they were trying to shut down the server. So he couldn't get back in. I was like, well, whatever. I left so that we were just going to log back into a new server. One, why can't you leave a party in the main menu? That probably should get implemented. You can't leave a party in the main menu. So we logged out. We couldn't manage to leave the party. The guy that was AFK was the party lead. And we're like, okay, this is just annoying. Whatever. We decided just to log out. So we were at PO and we both logged out. That means one of my Inferno or one of my Saber or Starfighters should be here. Like the one I brought and logged out with should be here. I guess this one says Crusader. So I don't know. Fun Star Citizen things. Like this says Crusader. I would assume this is the one I should be able to spawn, but it has a claim. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'll claim it. Wait like 6 minutes, I think it is, and then use it. I think it's like 6 minutes for expedited, isn't it? Your claim currently cannot be processed. What?
So that's a broken ship.
Which is funny because that's the one I brought here and landed with. Let's try the Grimhex one, which is like the actual one. Yeah, that one works. So I claimed the ship at Grimhex, got in it, flew it to PO, logged out. I did store it first, and it recognized that, but instead of having it at Orison, which is normally what happens when you store it at PO, it says it's at Crusader, and it errored out and doesn't work, and then it created a copy of the ship for some reason that it still thinks is at Grimhex.
Imagine the server 30k like 2 seconds after you logged off, and that's why maybe it didn't store it for some reason.
I don't know, it's weird. It's like I could see it be technically having 2 ions. Because like the one would be, you know, the one from like subscriber perk until it goes away. And then the one would be the one I actually own. Maybe that's partially what happened, was it decided, oh, you have the free one plus the one you own, and it like glitched out for some reason, and now it doesn't know which one was which. But then why does it have 2 Infernos? Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. And my Saber, actually, it glitched out too. It must have had something to do with that. Like the server 30K or something, because he had my Saber, and it's saying that my Saber should be in Lorville. I spawned it for him in Grimhex. So yeah, every ship I had at Grimhex and like spawned at Grimhex, it errored out and duplicated. So something must have happened with the server that we were on. Oh, and they were trying to shut down that server, so maybe that's part of it too. Like whatever they used to lock down people being able to join the server, maybe that messed up the back end or whatever. Like whatever registers where stuff's located. So it duplicated it because that data from that server, and then like maybe the base game data, like didn't come, the database didn't match up, so it ended up like, oh, you have 2 of them, I guess, when it tried to like merge and resync all that. Beta game has weird glitchy stuff. One of these days I do need to get the joysticks out and try those again. I don't know. Does anyone have recommendations on how to mount them to a desk? Because I had tried to make those mounts that I had before, and they just didn't work, like hold clamping wise, to the desk very well. And since I have to sit stand now, I'm debating. I mean, this is as low as my desk gets, so I was like, maybe if I get the desk low enough, right, I stand up and like get the height right, I could just have it sitting on the table, but then, you know, they'll rock and move. I don't know. Like you have to do so much to get joysticks to work that it's kind of annoying to even bother with them, but I do want to mess with them.
I see people using these kind of setups a lot.
Yeah, let's retrieve my Ion. By the way, people, Ion with bounties is just stupid. It's so good. It's so stupidly good. I feel like the Inferno would be okay if ammo wasn't a problem. Though it still doesn't take out smaller ships as easily. All right. So you said you see people using. Let's see. Oh, I think those are like the commercial ones, right? That you can buy. Monster Tech, yeah. Which at the time I didn't want to spend that money, but I should.
I've seen a lot of variants, but it's all like the same concept that you have them like lower than the desk.
Well, you want them. Which I think with this chair I just straight up can't, because the armrests. Okay, let me show real quick.
No, it's still not working.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah, so the armrests are. Hear us now? Someone.
Andrew,
Oh yeah, Trendon. So the armrests are.
I think he doesn't hear us, but we can hear him now at least.
Yeah, but the armrest can't go low enough, or can't like get out of the way. So I would have to like figure out how to have my arms rest on the armrests and then have it even, which would put it lower than the table for using this chair. Because I know some people do the ones that mount to chairs too, which Monster Tech, the company that you linked, has ones that mount to like the gaming style chairs. Where like you undo the armrest and then you add plates in, like where you screw in the armrests.
Yeah.
So that's an option. I know part of the issue with those was I didn't want to spend the money because they're nice. They use extruded aluminum,
Systems
Yeah.
on.
or some people call it structural aluminum. I did not say that right. I'm sorry. Structural. I'm, what's the word? Didn't enunciate well, I guess is what I'm getting at. But anyway,
Please visit again.
like they're good quality, and I debated buying that material and making my own version of what they have. But it's actually kind of annoying to buy that type of aluminum, like extruded aluminum. Here, let me share this website. Where's share the website? I need to get this to work better. Okay. Wait, why the heck? Why? There it goes. That's weird. Yeah, so they use structural aluminum with like just the screw on end caps and attachment plates. But this thing's what? The table mount one's 83 euros. So $112. It's like, oh, I think that's one of them, right? It's not even like a set. So let's say I did the T1600M joystick, which I'm assuming is just what plate they put on the end. 112. So I would need two of them? Oh, that's expensive. Like that is. Not that they don't deserve that cost. Like they use, they don't actually have a good picture of this, do they? They use those nice, like, clamps. I can't think of what they're called. Like I said, they don't. Monster Tech, please. Please. Have pictures from different angles. Have a picture of it attached to a desk. Like, all your pictures are the same. Like, you're just showing the different mounting plates. Like, have a picture. Like, you have to scroll down. Like, just put these pictures in the wheel. But yeah, it uses these clamps that I can't think of. Linear clamps, I think is what they're called. And that was the big problem when I was like, oh, I'll just make my own. Was like getting these clamps is actually really difficult. It's not super easy. You have to order them from like specialized sites and stuff. It's like well-deserved pricing. Like they're nice, they're good quality. Like they CNC these plates to perfectly match, you know, whatever you're attaching to it. It's hard to justify. Unless you're a guy who's, I guess, used your joysticks a lot, and like you know you're going to use them excessively.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's an investment that you know you're going to get your $250 back from. Yeah, like some of these people's setups with them. There you go. So there's my 1600 or 16,000 or whatever. Great. Wonderful. Man, it's expensive though. It's So I don't know. I kind of want to, but it's so hard to justify. Like I think if the game was far enough in development where it was easy to use joysticks, I could justify it a little bit better. Okay, what's this Med Runner? Oh, is this?
So this is one of these organizations in Star Citizen that is preparing to gear up for giving help, and they're actually planning to do monthly subscriptions where you subscribe to their service, and then you can like just use it whenever you need it for
See,
in-game money.
I mean, yeah, I awesome. I wouldn't mind to be free. Like, it was just a humanitarian effort in essence. The only thing I wanted to charge for was escort service, because our guys potentially are going to follow you and nothing happen. So it's like you're taking our guys' time away that they could be using for humanitarian efforts. So it's like we would charge for escort services. But if like we were actively doing something, it would be completely free.
Yeah. No, I know those orgs also exist,
Yeah.
but I just stumbled across this one and I thought they actually got a pretty nice
setup.
page made
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
Like they look good. Like, so 16, is that supposed to be 16,000? I'm assuming so.
I think these are just like templates they've set up. I don't think the prices mean anything right now.
All right. MRT.
All right. Everything checks out. You're free to go.
Wow, I didn't even know I was being scanned. Apparently I was being scanned. Yeah. So it's just an idea I have. If we find a org that does something like that, it'd be interesting to join it for a bit. But so these people are doing search and rescue faster than conventional services. Can you say it's faster than conventional services? I think in the future, maybe. So the biggest issue I had when I was thinking about this, like if I did something along this line with an org, the biggest issue right now is, let's say someone's in a server and someone locks down Bezdek. Like, you know, a group of 5 guys go and they pirate Bezdek. If you're like, okay, we're gonna send out a team to stop them, you know, how are you gonna get in the server? Like, if the server's full, I have to get at least 5 guys on that server to counter them. If the server's full, like, you're screwed. It's like, okay, well, the person who's asking for help, let's say they have a buddy on. Well, you could get their buddy to leave, and then our representative could get on the server, joining off the dude. Now we have someone on the server to have the team join on. You still need 4 locations to open up.
Yeah.
So it's like, currently it's actually difficult to logistically do it. Oh, whoops. No. I didn't realize I was that close to him already. So that was the biggest issue I saw at the moment, was like search and rescue and stuff. It's simple. You just need one person to get on a server. If, you know, you give them time, like you can usually get on a full server fairly
But then
quickly.
again, we are getting very close to server mesh.
Yeah. And that's like once something like server mesh is up, services like this would be way easier. Like you have the person you're working with take the representative and party up with them. Once that rep's in the party, they can pass lead to him, or he would invite the person you're working with. Your crew forms off that one party member, like your 5-man crew, let's say, for a like take out the hostile type situation, and then you're all good to go. Whoops, wrong button. But yeah, currently with server caps, like search and rescue, not as big of a deal. I mean, it can be on a full server. Let's say someone is like stuck out in the cold.
Attack on shield.
Like you only have what, 13 minutes? Like unless you're wearing the proper armor.
Well, if they die, you can still rescue them.
You can still rescue their gear. Like you could do a search and rescue to get to their body, but
Well, even if they die, you could potentially drag them to your ship and drag them back to a...
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's like time can become an issue though if someone's in the cold.
But if you can resuscitate them, it's less of an issue. But again, I totally see what you're saying. And once we start adding systems like, oh well, our nearest affiliate that is online at the moment is 5 systems from you.
Yeah. With that being said, like if you make a humanitarian group like that, let's use the rats from Elite Dangerous for an example. You'll get plenty of volunteers to where you'll probably have people close. As it's, especially since you can be in multiple orgs, it'd be one of those things where someone would be in an org and then they would just be part of your humanitarian group. Like, because they just, want to go help out new players or something. So like you're gonna have a wide network of people just playing the game that you can pull from. But that takes time. So you'd have
That
to.
gun is so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the fact I'm
I
not
love
even paying that much attention. Like I'm distracted talking and I'm still like pew, pew. Okay, he's dead. I did forget to do call to arms, so like those extra kills were worthless, but it's not like they took me a while. It's not like I wasted a bunch of time doing it.
And you didn't waste bullets, which is why I prefer the iron actually.
Yeah, the Infernos, what the Inferno is going to be great at is just a system that's not quite in the game yet. It's going to be great at taking out medium to large ships in a nice big combat situation where you're going to have a support network. I mean, it does have a lot of ammo. Like, really, the Inferno has a lot of ammo.
No, the amount of burp that you can spit out with the Inferno, like doing a run by over a big capital ship.
Yeah.
The damage is significant.
You have
And
2,800
again-
rounds, and most of the ships, like fighters you're going up against, you're going to kill in 200 to 300 rounds.
But
Like-
it has a function right now, because like I've been shooting at my friend's 890 jump, and I did nothing. Not even to the shield. And I don't remember what ship, but a ship with ballistic weapons came along, and it damaged the 890 jump really severely.
Yeah. That penetration, that shield penetration is, I mean, strong. I mean, there's a reason why in PvP, ballistics are the king. Like, other than the while where, mass drivers and stuff were broken because they were double damaging them by accident. Oops, when your weapon is literally doing double what it's supposed to, it's good and kind of overpowered. But no, ballistics are for the most part king in PvP because I'm getting damage through your shield no matter what. Like if I'm having a hard time hitting you and you have really strong shield regen, it doesn't matter. I'm still getting damage through. And that's why I think a lot of PvPers are running the Inferno over the Ion. And yeah, especially against cap ships, you're going to kind of want both. You want the Ion to try to take out the shield. And then you want the Inferno to get the hull damage and the penetration so that you're constantly dwindling away at it. But with that big of a ship, you're probably going to have to reload your Inferno. And there's nowhere to do it right now. So I think that one's version is going to shine more once you have places that you can reload it. But right now you don't. So it doesn't shine as much as it will. But yeah, it does currently have a place still, because 2,800 rounds is still 2,800 rounds of a size 7 is still a lot of damage. All right, finally it updated.
Attack on shields.
All right, this is a Cuddy. So that was 1 shot, 2 shot, 3.
Target destroyed.
3 hits on a Cuddy. Oh, what's this? That took 4 hits. Oh, Freelancer. That explains a lot. That thing's so tanky for its size.
Still, I prefer the Freelancer over the Hurricane. I don't know what it is with the Hurricanes.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd rather put extra shots in than obnoxiously deal with the Hurricane running all over the place.
Target destroyed.
This thing's so stupid. It's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is that same feeling of, it's the feeling of something being kind of overpowered. Now, part of it's we're up against AI, so they're not as good at maneuvering. It's a size 7 against small ships. Like, we're literally in the wheelhouse of why it should be overpowered. But it's that same kind of feeling of like when we loaded up C-788s on a Connie before those got nerfed. It's like big cannons against small targets.
Quantum travel engaged.
I think once their AI gets better, because I'm sure over time their AI is going to get better and better and better. Yeah, their flight patterns will probably get hard. It'll get harder to hit. And hurricanes and like bucks and stuff are a good example of that already. Those AI for some reason are way more obnoxious to hit than Freelancers, Cuddies. A lot of those ones. I don't love it. Love it.
Quantum travel complete.
I think I'm gonna jump up. It's past 1 a.m. here, so.
Yeah, you stayed up pretty late. But I'll have to get back to you with
Quantum travel engaged.
some of the stuff
Quantum travel complete.
from those different games and whatnot. But I'll have to figure out. I want to do some changes next couple of weeks. Try out some other stuff. Add some more games to the play. All right. I have a good one. Oh, what?
Game Pass just added Lawnmower Simulator.
That I have watched a couple people like a couple videos on it. I don't remember why. It like popped up and I literally had nothing to watch, so I just put it on the background. It's like I love those games from the oddly satisfying standpoint. But it's like they're those games that I play for a day. It's like, oh, this is oddly satisfying. You sit down, you play it a decent amount in one day, and then you're like, I don't want to touch it again. For me, that's how they usually are. Because almost all those simulator games are that oddly satisfying. So they all scratch that same itch, which also makes them all not, for me, very consistent. I don't know, not very consistent, I guess it's not what I'm looking for. They scratch the same itch, so you get bored of them. Because you only need one or two. I guess it's more of what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Where's my target? Is he gonna spawn?
One game I would actually like you to see you play. It's on Game Pass. It's called Next Base Rebels.
Okay, I'll have to write that down somewhere for me. Sounds interesting. Is it Next Base? Is it like a base builder or something?
So, you remember what's it called, the Kerbal Space
Yes.
program? So imagine if that was like, instead of like a space company from a country was building rockets in your garage.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Come on, update the mission. I want to kill him, but I can't until you update the mission. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Kerbal was one of those games that I liked, but how do I... to me, it was the GTA issue, which was I don't play it for what it is. I play it for what I can do, and eventually that just gets old. It's like, I can't make a good spaceship. I'm not good at that, but like making stupid stuff, or like I'm going to try to make a plane, like in a spaceship game, is just fun and entertaining. But then I'm like, okay, well, I've made everything I want to make. And I'm not good enough at the game to say like, hey, I want to try to send a ship like as far as possible into space. So I just it wore out for me. Come on, update the mission. I don't know. Have you had this issue with bounties? Where like the neutralize tag hasn't moved, so I don't want to kill it because sometimes that glitches out the mission?
Yeah, but very, very rarely I've had the issue. Sometimes when you shoot it once, it updates.
But it's possible to one-shot it, so...
Well, it's a freelancer miss. I don't think you're gonna one-shot.
Yeah, this one's a freelancer, so this one would probably be fine. For some of them, though, I've had that where it's like, ugh. Yeah, I hit it. Update, please? Update? Update? Please? Please?
Like how you see on the field that it's getting hit.
Yeah. Whatever. I like how consistently I'm hitting it with just one shots.
Yeah.
I don't think I've missed one yet. But I have been given time for the shields to regen. Hey! Okay.
Son of a bitch!
Yep, there we go.
But there's something about hitting the target that like forces the game to update a little bit.
Yeah, it's just so hard. Like, if that wasn't a freelancer, there's a good chance that it just would have died.
Yeah.
Before it updated.
Yeah. Well,
Which, yeah.
Again, I'm off.
Yep.
For today.
Have a good night. Thanks for doing testing with me, Dennis.
No problem. See ya.
See ya. Okay, there's that one. There we go. Stop being so squeamish. Get back here. Had to regen some ammo. Don't sit still when I've got a size 7 laser cannon. That's just bad practice. All right, I think we got time for one more. MRT. Where are we going? Man, the Ion's so good for this. Ooh, next Space Rebels. Okay, I'll have to check out this game that he's talking about.
Quantum travel engaged.
Sounds fun. Looks... actually, I don't know. That trailer, I don't know how much that art matches. Looks
Quantum travel
good.
complete.
Alright. Aberdeen. It's OM1. That might get us far enough over.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
Alright. Okay. Speed up. Let's speed up. Ugh. Neutralize Royce Yoder. Okay, let's get this pulled up. Ooh. Now that I have a proper working mouse wheel, I probably could do speed up even more. Bring it back. Space break. Is it actually braking? Sometimes I feel like it's not. Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, I think my target just spawned. What is it? It's a saber. Wait, it just like disappeared for a second. Nice. Launched a missile at me.
Choke on that.
Nice try. I guess I could try this time.
Missile locked. Attack on shields.
Hey, you gonna update? Update, come on. I do have time for his shields to regen. Come on. Update. Ah! He killed him too quickly. I don't know if it'll do a respawn. Probably not. I really wish this thing would stop glitching as bad as it does. It's only really a big deal because we can kill him so quickly with the Ion. Darn it. Darn it! Ah. Oh well. That means we failed. So we probably went back in rep. I think that's actually about all we can do today. Let's need to get back to first see Aberdeen. Ida. There we go. Oh, I can jump straight to Everest Harbor from here? Yay. Normally I can't. That's convenient and nice. I am all over this.
Quantum travel complete.
Get back home. There it goes. Now it's loading in. All right. All right. Bring her in.
Weapons off.
So I don't accidentally shoot anyone.
Thank you, and please visit again.
What? Huh? What? That was weird. Alright, I am apparently close enough.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There it is. Say, where's our landing bay? It's over here.
Landing gear down.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Nice.
Engines off.
Landing
right.
complete. Have a pleasant stay.
I like it. So we got to repair, refuel. We'll head up. Probably grab a drink, and then I think we're all set. Wow, the music looked like just stopped, and it just got quiet. Need some elevator tunes. Some Muzak. All right. How are we doing on rep? So, getting through guild member, we need to get to veteran, get some ERTs. See, we get HRTs after this, and then the next one is, I guess, VHRTs. Then we've got ERTs. Hurston, we're working our way through Associate Tracker, which is no extra perk. I think once we get to Tracker, yeah, we get 5% increase. Advanced Tracker, 10% increase, 15, 20. All that extra money. All right, let's get our ship stored. Should be fully reloaded and all ready to go. So we'll store that. Can I claim this? Yes. So I claimed that. Let's try claiming. I think this is the one that was glitching, right? Nope, can't. What about yeah, we'll claim RC2. Waiting delivery. Okay. Saber 2. Okay. Our Redeemer. Which Redeemer did great for PvP. I was super stoked with how that went. So I'm excited to see that again. Let's go grab a drink. Right. You need to set this down real quick. Let's see, is it gonna work this time? Nope. I guess that's still busted. Wait, where'd my drink go? Ah! Guess we'll buy another one. At least it's cheap. Chug-a-lug. Nice. Wait, that only got me to 89%? I could have swore that used to do 100. Huh. Okay. Well, whatever. With that, though, thank you all for coming out and watching some Star Citizen. I really appreciate it. The new video launched on Unfit Chaos today. It was all about Kriegslat. I think I said that. Kriegslat Fusiliers. Not German. I have a hard time saying it. But it's all about those units. And we have a new video next week. Like usual, my brain stopped working. We had the podcast released this last Monday, and that was Princess Connect for the Anime Digression. So if you're into anime, check out Anime Digression. Like I said, we did an episode about Princess Connect. The next one we are doing is about Flying Witch, which is a nice, relaxing anime. Great watch. So go ahead, watch it, and then listen to us talk about it and see what we thought. And I believe that's about it. We are going to have some unique streams, not stuff we've streamed before, happening next week on Wednesday and Friday streams. So hopefully you come and check that out too and enjoy it. With that, thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. Please have a great day / night, depending which part of the world you're in. Please stay safe and healthy. And I hope to see all of you at another one. Bye.